Once we've finished all the planets and they've all been published, we can now start to add them to another project where we start to combine the planets together into one orrery. So again, at the start of the project, we'll create a new Flash document. Now in this project, we are going to add the videos that have been published. So the first thing that we need to do is to add those videos to our library. So we need to import them. So if we go to File, Import, Import to Library rather than Stage, and find the 4 published movies, the SWF files from each of the planets so far. Now at this stage, because we're importing them to the library, we can just highlight them all and select Open. You'll notice now that if we actually open the library down here, it's been populated by all the files that are required for each of these SWF movies. So from here, the first thing we need to do is to rename the first layer to the first planet that we're going to add, and that will be Mercury. So just double click to edit the name, and once we've changed the name, we just select the SWF file Mercury and drag it onto the stage. At this point we need to make sure that that's aligned to the centre of the stage. So if we open the Align window, make sure to Stage is selected and align it to the centre. At this time we're actually going to change the Y position from 200 to 100, and that's Mercury added. So for the moment, if we just lock that layer, and once it's locked we can add the next layer. So we'll click on this button down here, and again double click to change the name of the layer, and this will be the next planet in order from the Sun. Once we've renamed the layer, we can go back to the library and drag in Venus planet, and again we need to align that and change the Y-axis position to 200, and repeat the process for the final 2 planets. So now we've done that, let's make sure we save the project so that we don't lose anything if anything crashes. If we save this project as Inner Planets, so now let's just have a look to see what happens if we publish that and view the resulting SWF file. So we go to Publish Settings, make sure our Flash JPEG quality is set to 100, unclick the HTML because we don't need that at the moment, and select Publish. Now that will have just published to the same location as the Flash file is saved in, so we're just going to have a look at that. And here is the file, and we can see that the planets are all orbiting as we expected. However, we can also see that the planets do go off the side and the bottom of the animation window. So we need to go back to Flash and set the stage. Close that down. So we need to modify the stage in order to fit the largest orbit path in. And the largest orbit path will be Mars. If we unlock Mars and then select the planet, if we double click into it, You can now see that the animation goes quite far off the stage. And so we need to set the document so that it's big enough to accommodate all of the orbit paths. If we change the width to 1250 and change the height to 750, click on scene to come back out of that symbol. We then need to align these to the centre again, so we need to unlock the layer, select them all, align to the centre of the stage horizontally, and we don't need to align them vertically because we've already set the parameters for that. So if we just view all of it, we can see that this will now be the orbit path of the Mercury planet, and it should fit inside this window. So if we save that and publish it again, Control S to save, and you'll notice there is a keyboard shortcut for publish, Shift and F12. If we go back to the folder to have a look at the new Flash movie, you can open with Internet Explorer if your Flash doesn't work or if you haven't got Flash Player installed. If you do get this security message, just allow the block content. As we can see, our Flash movie works, and it's big enough to accommodate all of the planet's orbit paths.